Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here to talk about The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 5. Or 6. 5 or 6. I think it's 5. Uh, and, and, and so it's called It Is What It Is, or What It Always Is. Yeah, What It Always Is. And yeah, this episode is good. And listen, it's so weird because like this episode is giving me what I want. Negan is my favorite character on the show at the moment, and he's the main character basically the whole episode. And I don't know though, it's just the way that it was edited, the way that it was cut, and just the story, the pacing, I did not really like that much. I thought that it jumped around a lot. The editing was very like all over the place, like just going here to there to here to there, and like it was hard to follow, and it also wasn't very enjoyable in terms of like building up and suspense the story they were trying to do. I liked the story that they did. I liked how, I guess, they revealed that it wasn't Lydia that freed him. And I just gotta say, Lydia is incredible. And she is my third favorite character on the show. And I hope to see her in more episodes because they kind of were they tricked me. And she tricked me because she was so believable as an actress, saying that she freed Negan. And spoiler alert, I guess it's this other guy who freed him, and he also brought him all of his old stuff back, his jacket, his bat, his Lucille, as she's called. And so yeah, it's this other guy. And the other guy, I mean, he's clinging on to Negan because of his father being a former savior. And the whole episode, well, parts of the episode, I guess you would say, is all about how he idolizes him and how he wants everything to go back to how it was before in season 7, season 6, I guess you'd say. He wants Negan and the saviors to rise up again. And Negan is like, I'm a different person now. Like, this is weird. And I really like that actually, because it's been a question that we've had now. Has Negan changed? Is he really different? How is he different? Is he willing to do things that he was willing to do in season 7? And we get an answer to that. He says he won't kill kids, and you know, season 7, episode 1, he's threatening to kill Carl right there, without any question. And he has no hesitation about just killing kids indiscriminately. And so we actually see that he's changed, and he's new Negan. And it's weird though, because it's like the guy who idolizes him, it reminds me of me, and how, you know, he's my favorite character. I want him to be the star of the show. I want him to be like the main character, because he's just so raw and charismatic, and he's just so fun to watch compared to all these other characters who are just, I mean, they're just boring protagonists. I mean, they're fun sometimes, but I mean, Negan, he's just, I mean, every scene that he's in, you always are glued to what he is doing. Even in this episode, where most of the episode is this other two subplots, I'm talking about Negan because he is what I was interested in. And so but the thing is that I don't know if I don't want old Negan back. I think that new Negan needs to keep coming, needs to keep continuing, and I think that's the little disconnect where a lot of people have with this episode, because they don't like the fact that he's changed. They want him to be his old self, and that's just not going to happen, because he's changed his whole experience with Carl and everything, I guess, from this episode is pointing out, and so he's this new guy now. And I really like the fact that it's like they're redoing the governor thing from season 4, but in a way where it's a lot different, because with Negan, he is such a strong leader that he has this guy who's like dedicated, and he wants to follow him and help him rise up again. Whereas with the governor, if you recall in his first solo episode, he's camping with those two guys, and they steal everything that he has, and they just leave him for dead because they thought he was crazy, and they didn't have any faith in him as a leader. But Negan is such a strong leader that this dumb little bratty piece of crap kid, and I'll explain why he's a piece of crap later, why he has so much faith in this guy, because he's a hero constantly in this episode, and he's constantly just proven the fact that he is a better character than everyone else, because he has problems, he has depth to him, which, to be fair, other characters do too, but a lot of the time they don't get a chance to show it because they're too busy doing protagonist things. And for example, there's this little subplot in the whole episode all about these girls running off to find Negan. They want to hunt him down and kill him, and so they stole supplies, and they ran off into the woods to find Negan, I guess, and see, it was hard to follow. And then one of them went deaf or blind or whatever, and she just collapsed and just stayed there until the heroes, like Daryl, came and rescued her. And this subplot was highly boring. I wasn't interested at all. You know, it would have been cool if they had made that some of the focus of the episode, and if they had made that like a comedic storyline. Like if they had showed them, like, we have a plan and we're gonna do this and get Negan, and then it's just like everything goes wrong for them. That would have been funny. But the way that it's done, they only show like after the fact what happens almost, and it's just epic failure with that subplot. And then also there's a plot where it's about the Whisperers and the girl from Hocus Pocus, and she does a great job in this episode. And then there's this guy who speaks up, and he disagrees with how they're doing things. He thinks that they're wasting time. They should just release the Horde and be done with it, and stop sending out people and have them get killed possibly one by one. And I don't agree. I think that what they're doing is smart, and that initiating all-out war would be stupid, because that's like what the governor did when he released that huge horde of zombies into the prison, and that did not work out well for him. And so yeah, that storyline was okay. It honestly, the whole time I was watching it, I just wanted to get to Negan. That's completely honest. I mean, I've said before that I think that Alpha is an incredible actress as well, but in this episode, she doesn't really get anything to in any big moments like that. It's just you know, she's as good as she always is, but this episode was all about Negan, and they kept cutting away and cutting away and cutting back and forth, and now here's the problem. Another factor that I have to add in is the commercials, because the commercials, they know that they have these commercials. They have these, like I'm not kidding, 10-minute commercial breaks, and they just constantly interrupt the flow of the episode. And so they need to structure the episode around those breaks a little bit better, because the commercial breaks made the episode worse than it actually was. Without the commercial breaks, I give this episode an A-, but since we had the commercial breaks plus all those other subplots that kept cutting back and forth and all around, I give this episode a B. Not a B+, not a B-, a B. I like this episode. I think that it's going to lead to better things, but is it the best episode so far this season? No way. No way. That last episode with Lydia, and then the episode before that, Ghosts with Carol, and that horror stuff. But one thing, spoiler alert, the zombie effects in this episode were insane. Negan takes this wire and puts it around a zombie's head and just pulls it off and just and then stomps on the head. He takes I think it's a bus door, or a door to some big vehicle, an RV maybe, and he smashes the zombie's head over and over again, and that was cool too. And then of course the guy says, "Yeah, classic Negan, yeah." As I said, the guy kind of reminds me of me, the way, just not like the way that, like, I don't root for Negan to go around killing people and doing evil things. It's just I root for him to be him, and to be this fun character, which he is in this episode. He talks about airplane rides, which, ugh, and to this kid who's never been on an airplane because it's the apocalypse, and of course he rejects Lucille, the bat, and he rejects his classic jacket, and he doesn't take them back until after he kills this kid, and says, you know what, I want this stuff back to comfort me, I guess. That's the way that I looked at it, because he didn't want to be recognized, but still I'm having questions about his thoughts and about his true intentions on the inside, because what would he do if he was given a big group of people to manage? Like, how would he treat them compared to how he's treated the saviors in the past? And so, yeah, I loved all the stuff with Negan. I thought the kid got what he deserved. He murdered the mother and kid because he thought it was a test that he had to do that. And I loved that Negan just didn't say anything to him. He just killed him. Like, he didn't say, you know what, you did something wrong, you should apologize, and let's move on, or good job, kid. He just went up to him and killed him, because he's so different now. And I actually kind of like this Negan better, because he's more mysterious, and he's more confident and mature. The other Negan, the biggest problem with him was he would always have these really immature moments, and he would always there were just moments where he was like really goofy, and like where you could see this like overconfidence and like this bully behavior, but then there were other moments where he had the strong leadership and he had the intimidation, he was scary. But this new Negan is really cool. And so I'm excited to see the next episode. This review has been all over the place too, by the way. If you like this video, please like it. You know, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and check out our other Walking Dead reviews. I bet that it would be really fun to have a predictive AI do a Walking Dead review for me and just say like all the things that I say in each review. Oh, this actor, they did an incredible job. Negan is my favorite character. You know, need to fix this. Like, I guarantee that every review has been like almost the exact same thing, except for a couple of little things here and there, a couple of little differences, and so that's kind of interesting. Overall, this season, I think that this season is a huge improvement on the pacing of season 7, and I'm looking forward to where it goes, because that's the thing. I'm more excited for where it's going than where it's at right now. I really liked a couple episodes this season so far, but they were surprise episodes. I wasn't even expecting them. But what I am expecting, I hope that we get the stuff that, spoiler alert, the stuff that was in the comics. Because that was the big disappointment when I learned that Carl got killed. I was really excited to watch seasons 8 and 9, and then I heard Carl got killed, and I'm like, oh, that just ruins everything. But then, there's possibilities of what they could do with certain things, but whatever. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching.